Good morning, students. I am going to begin new chapter, that is water. The new chapter is third chapter, water. So we know that what is the importance of water. If no water means there is no life exist in the world, is it? So water is very important for our existence, is it? So what is the molecular formula of water? What is the molecular formula of water? So molecular formula. Molecular formula water is H2O. H2O. So H2O. Its structure is right middle is the oxygen, then these lines are called bonds. So this is the structure. You know the valency of hydrogen, is it? Its valency 1. Its valency 1. Okay. Then here also hydrogen, 2 hydrogen atoms are there, 1 oxygen atom is there. Oxygen valency 2. So molecular formula H2O. Its structure is like this. Everybody structure. So this is structure of the water. So hydrogen valency 1, oxygen valency 2. That's why 2 lines. That is called the 2 lines. They are called bonds. What you call bonds? That is the structure. Okay, keep it in mind. Next, what is the chemical name? Chemical name for the water. Chemical name. Chemical name. So chemical name of water is dihydrogen oxide. Dihydrogen oxide. So chemical name of water is dihydrogen oxide. Okay, keep in mind. Dihydrogen. This is the chemical name. Generally we call it water. Its chemical name is dihydrogen oxide. Then, so in the last class I already told that how to calculate the molecular mass. In the first chapter I told that molecular mass. So what is the molecular mass? Molecular mass nothing but adding up the atomic masses. Adding up the atomic masses. Now I am going to calculate the molecular mass of water. Molecular mass, that is equal to molecular mass. So molecular mass of water. So how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2 hydrogen atoms. So 2 hydrogen atoms are there plus 1 oxygen atom is there. 1 oxygen atom. Now we know that molecular weight or atomic weight of hydrogen, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So 2 into 1 plus. So we know that atomic weight of oxygen is 16. 16. Now to the multiplication, 2 into 1, 2 plus 1 into 16. 16, that is equal to 80 AMU. 80 AMU. So this is the molecular mass of water. 80 AMU. You should write the unit. If you calculate the molecular mass, for that you should write the AMU. Or you can write as mu. You can write as mu. So this is 18 AMU is the molecular mass of water. Okay. So molecular formula H2O, structure, this is the structure, and chemical name. So chemical name is dihydrogen oxide. And molecular mass, I told that how to calculate the molecular mass for the compounds in the first chapter only. So just I did the one problem. How to calculate the molecular mass of water. Okay. So 80 AMU. So its unit is mu. Okay. Without water, we can't live in this world. Not only human beings. For plants also, for human beings also, for everything water is required. Is it? So, nearly 70% of water is covered by, water covered the world. 70% of world is covered by water. Nearly how much percent? Some of the key points about water. So nearly 70% of water is covered the universe. 70%. 70% of water over the universe. This is the first point. Now second point. Only, so I told that 70% of water is present in the world. Is it 70% of water is present in the world? So in that only 2.5% of water is necessary for the it is sufficient for the drinking purpose. So it is helpful for the drinking purpose. Only 2.5% of water is required, is suitable for the drinking purpose. Only 2.5% of water is suitable for the drinking purpose. Okay, only 2.5% of water is suitable for drinking. So out of 70%, only 2.5% of water is suitable for the drinking purpose. And the next water exists in all the states. So mainly we see three types of matter. One is the solid, another is the liquid, another is the gas. Okay, one more state is the plasma. So mainly we see three types of matter. So solid, liquid, gas. So water exists in all the three states. Water exists in all three states of matter. So as a solid, ice. So ice is a solid, is it? So ice is also a one kind of water. So as a solid, ice. Water exists in three states of matter. Water exists in three states of matter. As a solid, ice. So ice is a, if you melt the ice, you get the water, is it? So next, as a liquid, water only. Next, gas. As a gas, water vapor. As a gas, water vapor. So the third point is water exists in all the three states. For example, as a solid, ice, and as a liquid, water only, and next as a gas, water vapor. Water exists in three states. And the next, water, it occurs in free state as well as in the combined state. Water occurs in the free state as well as in the combined state. Combined state means contraction. So ice is a contraction, is it? Water, so free space. So water exists in free state as well as in the combined state. Okay, this is the fourth point. It is the free state as well as combined state. So water is present in free state as well as in the combined state. Water is a major constituent of all living things. Water is the major constituent of all living things. It means what? It means water is essential for the plants, humans and animals. So water is a major constituent. So what is the major constituent of all living things? What is the the major constituent of all living things. And one more thing, in our body, how much percent of water is present? Nearly 70% of water is present in our body. Our body contains 70% of water. Our body contains. Next point, 70% of water is present in our body. So our body contains 70% of water. Body contains 70% of water. That is the 6th point. And the last point. The last point, water can dissolve many substances. Water can dissolve many substances. That's why it is called as universal solvent. So what is called universal solvent? Water is called universal solvent because it will dissolve more number of substance in that. Other than other liquids, water will dissolve more number of substance within it. So it will form the solution. Water is called universal solvent. Water is called universal solvent. Physical properties of water. The first one is nature. What is the nature of water? First physical property. The first physical property is nature. What is the nature of the water? Water is a clear, transparent liquid. You know that water is a clear, transparent liquid. It is a tasteless, odorless, and colorless. That is the nature of the water. So water is a pure water is a clear, transparent in a liquid. Clear, transparent liquid. So water is a clear, transparent liquid. Pure water is a clear, transparent liquid, and it is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So this is the nature of the water. So what is the nature of the water? So it is a pure water is a clear, transparent liquid. Pure water is a clear, transparent liquid, and it is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So this is the first physical property. First physical property is nature. And second physical property now. Second physical property is boiling point. Boiling point. What is the boiling point? Boiling point means at what temperature water started to boil. That is called boiling point. So water started to boil now. That is called boiling point. So that at what temperature water started to boil. So the pure water started to boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Pure water started to boil at 100 degrees Celsius. At normal pressure. So boiling point is the second physical property. Boiling point is pure water. The water will started to boil now. That is called boiling point. At what temperature it started to boil? At 100 degree. Pure water normally at 100 degrees Celsius is started to boil. That is it. And at normal pressure, at normal standard temperature pressure is there. Standard pressure is there. That is called 766 760 millimeter mercury. 760 millimeter mercury. This is the normal pressure, standard pressure. At this pressure, water will start to boil at the temperature 100 degree Celsius. 100 degree Celsius. Okay. So this is about the boiling point. And pressure, as the pressure increases, boiling point are also getting increases. It means they are directly proportional. They are directly proportional. Keep in mind that pressure and boiling point, they are directly proportional. Okay. And the next property, next physical property is freezing point of water or melting point of ice. Freezing point of water. Freezing point of water or melting point of ice. Freezing point of water or melting point of ice. So this is the third physical property. This is the third physical property. Third physical property is freezing point of water or melting point of ice. What is the freezing point of water? So we know that water started to freeze at 0 degree Celsius. So 0 degree Celsius is the freezing point. Water started to freeze at 0 degree Celsius. Freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius. Water started to freeze at 0 degree Celsius. Water started to freeze at 0 degree Celsius. Okay. So that is the freezing point. Freezing point. So when the water becomes solid, that means at 0 degree Celsius. So liquid becomes solid at 0 degree Celsius. Liquid becomes solid means liquid getting become to the ice. So ice. That's why melting point of ice. Melting point of ice. At 0 degree Celsius, water started to freeze. Okay. At 100 degree Celsius, water started to boil. Water started to boil. That is the boiling point. This is the melting point. Melting point. Okay. So and one more thing regarding about the boiling point. So your pressure cooker works on based on these principles only. Because pressure is directly proportional to the here boiling point now. So as the pressure increases during the cooking of rice, as the pressure so you will put in the cooker now. So what is the principle of cooker means? As the pressure increases, so it will suddenly started to give the vision. Okay, is it? So based on that principle, it works. Based on that principle, it will works. So that is based on the boiling point. In boiling point, pressure is directly proportional. As the pressure increases, as the boiling point increases, so it's automatically pressure will get on increases. Okay. So next the freezing point of water. The water started to freeze at 0 degree Celsius. So this is the third physical property. Next move to the density property. Density. So we know the definition of density. So mass by volume. So definition of density is mass by volume. Unit kg per centimeter cube. So density. So density of water is maximum. Density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Density of water is maximum at 4 degree Celsius. Density of water is maximum at 4 degree Celsius. It means what density? Usually on the water, the substance will float. Is it? Why the substance will float? Because density of water is more compared to the other substances. So whereas iron nail, if you put on to the water, automatically it will go inside the water. Is it? Why? So compared to the iron nail, water density of iron. Okay, so whose density is more, that substance will float on the water. Substance will float on the water. Density water is more, that's why the wood and these papers, they are floating on the water because their densities are less compared to the density of water. Compared to the density of water. Keep in mind. So this is the density of water. So definition is mass by volume. Its unit is kg per centimeter cube. Centimeter cube. And density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. Next physical property. The next fifth physical property is anomalous expansion of water. Next physical property is anomalous expansion of water. So water has unusual physical property. Water has unusual physical property. When water is cooled, so it will contract. When water is cooled, it will get contract. Is it? That is one physical property. And if you raise the temperature, it started to expand. Started to expand at 4 degrees Celsius. So at 4 degrees Celsius. So water has unusual physical property. So that is called unusual physical property. Why it is called unusual physical property? It has two properties in that one. Two properties in that one. So when it is cool, you will get contraction. If you raise the temperature, if you raise the temperature, so automatically it started to expand. Expansion. Contraction, expansion. Okay. Two also will take. That's why it is called unusual physical property. The water has unusual physical property. When it is cool, it starts contract. It starts contract. When it is cool, it starts contraction. So we know that if you cool to 0 degrees Celsius, start to freezing. Freezing will take place. Is it? That is a freezing. At 0 degrees Celsius, it will start contraction. It means it becomes solid. Solid. So if you raise the temperature, if 1 degree Celsius also, it will get expansion. Increase in temperature, it starts expanding. Start expanding. So this is the unusual physical property of the water. Unusual physical property of the water. So because of these unusual physical property, that marine life animals if there no, they can exist in the water because of these unusual physical property. Marine animals. Marine life exists due to these unusual physical property. It means what? Right here. This is ice. This is ice. This is the water. So ice is in solid state. Ice is in the solid state. Whereas this water is in the liquid state. Liquid state. Even in oceans, in Himalayas, you see that temperature is very low. It will go -2 degrees Celsius, -3 degrees Celsius. Is it? So if that temperature goes, means automatically it will become freeze. Freeze will take place. Is it? Freezing. It means it becomes ice. Water gets converted into the ice. So that is the above layer only ice. You can see there. Above layer ice you can see there. So below that one still water is there. Because of that reason, that aquatic animals they can survive in that 0 degree Celsius. Below that negative degree Celsius. Below the negative degree Celsius. Because of these reasons, it means because of the unusual physical property of the water, still they are present, still they are living, means because of the unusual physical property. Because in the upper layer only it is an ice layer. So if you move down, as the temperature goes degree Celsius, 2 degree Celsius, 3 degree Celsius, 4 degree Celsius. Till here it's the water only. Because of these reasons, that marine life exists. Marine life exists. It means that aquatic animal present inside the ocean. So they are present. They are present because of these reasons. Because the water not completely ice. So only the upper layer will become ice, and remaining as you move down, still it is a liquid. Still it is a liquid. Keep it in mind. This is very important thing. Okay. So water has unusual physical property. It involves unusual physical property. As if you cool down the temperature, it started to freezing. So once it rise the temperature, it is started to expanding. Contraction, expanding. So this is the fifth property of water. Anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous expansion of water. Next, sixth physical property. The sixth physical property of water is latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of ice. So first, before latent heat of fusion of ice, first tell me that what is the latent heat of fusion? Latent heat of fusion. The latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat required to change the substance. Amount of latent heat of fusion, nothing but amount of heat required. Amount of heat required to change a substance from a solid state to the liquid state. Amount of heat required to change a substance from solid state to a liquid state. Liquid state, that is called latent heat of fusion. And without any change in the temperature. One condition is there, without any change in the temperature. So what is the latent heat of fusion? Latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat required to change a substance. Amount of heat required to change a substance from solid state to a liquid state without any change in the temperature. Without any change in the temperature. Without any change in the temperature. Amount of heat required to change the substance from solid state to a liquid state. So ice is there. If you provide heat, it started to freezing. What will happen there? Contraction. Expansion will take place. It will start to become freezing, is it? So solid changes to a liquid. Solid changes to a liquid. So that amount of heat required, that is called latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion. So latent heat of fusion of ice means, so if you provide the heat to the ice is a solid state. Ice is a solid state, is it? So for solid, if you provide heat, it started to be melting. Started to melt, not freezing. Started to melt. So solid is ice is getting changed to the liquid. So solid state is getting changed to the liquid state. So for that reason, that is called latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of ice. Amount of heat energy required by ice to change into water. Amount of heat energy. So same thing. Amount of heat energy required by ice to change into a water. So it means ice is getting changed to the water. Ice solid is changed to the liquid. For that one, amount of heat energy required, that is the latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of ice. And it has a constant value, that is a specific value. Its specific value is 36 joule per gram. Joule per specific value. It's a standard value. Specific value. 336 joule per gram. 336 joule per gram. This is the standard specific value. Okay. Or 80 calorie. CAL means calorie. 80 calorie per gram. Okay. If you write any standard value, if you write this one also, it is correct only. Okay. So, but unit you should write correctly. 80 calorie per gram. It is a specific value. Okay. Or 336 joule per gram. 336 joule per gram. So this is the latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of ice. So this is the sixth property. Next property is latent heat of vaporization of water. Latent heat of vaporization of water. Latent heat of vaporization of water. The seventh physical property of water. So seventh physical property, latent heat of vaporization of water. So it means what? When water started to boil, so it is changes to a gaseous state. Is it? When water started to boil, what changes to a water is getting changes to a gaseous state. Gaseous state. So latent heat of vaporization of water, nothing but if you boil the water, automatically it changes to a gaseous state. Gaseous state. It means energy required to change the state from liquid state to the gaseous state. Liquid state to the gaseous state. So that is without any change in the temperature. That is also a condition without any change in the temperature. Is called latent heat of vaporization of water. So amount of energy required to change a substance from liquid state to the gaseous state, liquid state to the gaseous state, without any change in the temperature, that is called latent heat of vaporization of water. It also has a specific value. Its specific value is 2268 joule per gram. Specific value 2268 joule per gram. So this is the specific value or 540 calorie per gram. 540 calorie per gram. This is the specific value. Okay. 2268 joule per gram or 540 calorie per gram. 540 calorie per gram. So I hope that you understand this one. Latent heat of vaporization of water. So next physical property is specific heat capacity. So what is the specific heat capacity of water? It means 1 gram of water when heated through 1 degree Celsius. 1 gram of water heated through 1 degree Celsius, it will absorb 4.2 joule of heat energy. 1 gram of water is heated at 1 degree Celsius. It absorbs 4.2 joule of heat energy. So this is it is a standard thing. Already they discovered this one. So specific heat capacity is nothing but 1 gram of water is heated at 1 degree Celsius. So it will absorb 4.2 joule amount of energy, heat energy. It will absorb 4.2 joule of heat energy. 4.2 joule of heat energy. Okay, so it is a fixed value. It is a fixed value. We already discussed this one. It is a specific value, specific standard value. Okay, so 1 gram of water. So if you take 2 gram, then 2 degrees Celsius, then it's double. 8.4 joule can be a heat. Okay, so specific heat capacity of water nothing but 1 gram of water is heated at 1 degree Celsius. 1 degree Celsius, it will absorb 4.2 joule of energy. 4.2 joule of energy. So these are the some of the physical properties of water. Thank you.